Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating, ambitious, and misunderstood supercars in history, the Jaguar XJ220. This car was once the fastest production car in the world, a machine born from wild dreams, daring engineering, and just a little bit of controversy. Buckle up, because this is going to be a thrilling ride through the rise and fall of one of the most legendary Jaguars ever made. The story of the Jaguar XJ220 begins in the 1980s, a time when supercars were becoming wilder and more powerful with every passing year. Ferrari had the F40, Porsche was pushing the limits with the 959, and Lamborghini was turning heads with the Countach. Jaguar, known more for elegant luxury and refined grand tourers, wanted to make a statement. They wanted to show the world they could build something just as outrageous, just as fast, and maybe even faster than the competition. In 1988, Jaguar unveiled a concept car at the British International Motors Show that stunned the world, the Jaguar XJ220. The name came from its projected top speed to 220 miles per hour, or about 354 kilometers per hour. The car itself looked like something out of science fiction. Impossibly low, impossibly wide, with dramatic scissor doors and an aura of futuristic elegance. It was a bold statement of intent from Jaguar. They weren't just dipping their toes into the supercar world, they were diving in head first. The concept car had everything enthusiasts could dream of. It featured a massive V12 engine, all-wheel drive, and a radical design that seemed decades ahead of its time. People fell in love instantly. Deposits came pouring in from wealthy collectors and celebrities who wanted to secure a piece of the future. But, as often happens with dream cars, the road from concept to reality would prove much more complicated. When Jaguar's engineers began to translate the wild concept into a production car, reality started to interfere. The massive V12 engine and all-wheel drive system made the car too heavy and too complex to actually produce. Regulations, costs, and practicality forced Jaguar to rethink the entire design. Instead of the promised V12, the production version of the XJ220 would come with a twin-turbocharged V6 engine. Instead of all-wheel drive, it would be rear-wheel drive only. To many customers, this felt like a betrayal. They had put down their money for a futuristic V12 monster, and what they got instead was something quite different. But here's the twist. Even though some customers complained, the production XJ220 was still an absolute monster of a car. Its twin-turbo V6 produced over 540 horsepower, which was an incredible figure for the early 1990s. The car could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just about 3.5 seconds. And in testing, it achieved a top speed of 212 miles per hour, making it the fastest production car in the world at the time. It might not have been the 220 miles per hour promised by its name, but it was still a record-breaking machine. The XJ220's performance figures were mind-blowing. Imagine, in the early 1990s, driving a sleek British supercar capable of over 200 miles per hour, it was faster than the Ferrari F40, faster than the Lamborghini Diablo, and faster than almost anything else on the road. Jaguar had achieved something remarkable. They had built a car that could truly stand among the legends of the era. Yet, despite its performance, the XJ220 was plagued by controversy. The change from V12 to V6 left many buyers feeling cheated. Some even tried to sue Jaguar to get their deposits back. On top of that, the global economy in the early 1990s took a downturn. The demand for ultra-expensive supercars dried up almost overnight. What was once seen as a must-have toy for the wealthy suddenly seemed like an extravagance few could afford. Jaguar had planned to build 350 units of the XJ220, but in the end, they produced only 282 cars. Many of them sat unsold for years, their prices dropping far below the original sticker. At the time, the XJ220 was seen as something of a failure, a car that promised the moon but fell short in the eyes of the public. But as the years went by, opinions began to change. Collectors and enthusiasts started to appreciate the XJ220 for what it really was, not what it was supposed to be. Yes, it didn't have a V12, but its twin-turbo V6 was derived from Jaguar's racing program and had true motorsport pedigree. Yes, it was rear-wheel drive instead of all-wheel drive, but that made it lighter and more agile. And yes, it didn't quite hit 220 miles per hour, but it still broke world records. When viewed on its own terms, the XJ220 was an engineering triumph, not a failure. The design of the XJ220 is another reason it has endured as an icon. Even today, more than 30 years later, the car looks futuristic. Its smooth, flowing lines and low slung proportions give it an otherworldly presence. Park an XJ220 next to modern hypercars, and it still turns heads, still looks fast, still carries that aura of something special. Few cars age so gracefully, but the XJ220 has managed to remain timeless. Another fascinating part of the XJ220's story is its connection to racing. Jaguar built a competition version called the XJ220C, which competed at the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1993. The car actually won its class, beating out rivals on the world's toughest endurance stage. But due to a technical disqualification over catalytic converters, the victory was stripped away. Still, the racing pedigree of the XJ220 only added to its mystique and reinforced that this was no mere showpiece. It was a true performer. Today, the Jaguar XJ220 has finally found the respect it deserves. Once criticized and overlooked, it is now celebrated as a rare and important chapter in supercar history. With fewer than 300 ever built, it is highly collectible, and values have been climbing steadily. Enthusiasts now recognize that it was ahead of its time, a car that dared to dream big and achieved much more than it is often given credit for. The legacy of the XJ220 is complex, but that's what makes it so fascinating. It's a story of ambition, of controversy, of failure and redemption. It represents what happens when dreams clash with reality, when expectations don't align with outcomes, but greatness still emerges nonetheless. For Jaguar, it remains the ultimate halo car, a reminder that they too once dared to build the fastest car in the world. And that, my friends, is the incredible story of the Jaguar XJ220, a car that dreamed of 220 miles per hour, fell just short, but still carved its name into history as one of the most legendary supercars ever built. So what do you think? Does the Jaguar XJ220 deserve more respect as one of the greats, or should it be remembered as an overpromised dream that missed the mark? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into the history of a true icon, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss more incredible car stories. Until next time, keep driving your passion forward.